Hello. Hey, everybody out there in internet land. This is Brianna here with Nurse Deck, and tonight we are going to do a open mic, if you will. As you know, we are a community of nurses. We're built by nurses. We're here for nurses, and tonight we really just want to hear from all of you. So whatever's on your mind, we want to know the good, the bad, the ugly, the funny, the sad. It's the holiday season, so everything in a sense is amplified, and we just want to provide a space for you guys to jump in and talk about whatever pressing issues are on your mind. A little bit about me. I am an ER nurse by training. I left the bedside several years ago to start a family, and now I am lucky enough to be part of the Nurse Deck family, where I do a lot of the content creation. And in the past few months, I've been privileged to have participated in their new podcast interview series. So I have spoken to nurses all across the world, actually, and have, hi everybody. I haven't done a live video in so long. I forget everyone pops up at the bottoms. But tonight is all about you guys. So we would love for you to comment in, or, I think there's all kinds of new fun features on here. Ask a question. We talk a lot about self-care and nursing, mental wellness. And so those are definitely topics like I wouldn't mind getting into tonight. So don't be shy. Whatever you guys want to get into and talk about, I would love to hear from you. So until we'll wait for some more people to jump on here. And in the meantime, I, of course, in my diligent nursing research, Googled the top 5 nursing issues. And Google tells us, as we all know, burnout is number 1. I know from talking to nurses around everywhere that burnout is we're past burnout, let's be honest. Oh, great, Drew. Drew's coming in. Yay. All right, here's the fun part. I'm going to add you in. Da, 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 da. And let's see how it works here. Hopefully her beautiful face will pop up. Yay!
Hi.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. I'm trying to numb out the background noise at my house, so got my headphones in. But yeah, I'm so glad you jumped on. So I'll give you the floor. What is on your nurse mind tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. What really resonated with me is that the number one reason why nurses get out of their profession is burnout. And
Mm-hmm.
I know what really was wanting me to lead out of the profession is it was something so deep rooted in myself that I didn't even realize. And I feel like a lot of nurses and healthcare professionals in general struggle with this.
Yeah, let me back you up for 1 second. Give us a little bit of your background. Like, where are you located, if you feel comfortable, and what's your nursing background? What are you doing now?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I've been a nurse for 2 years, and I graduated from nursing school. I was in the CCU for a little bit, cardiac care, and then I went to do the travel nursing thing for 6 months, and then I stepped into nurse entrepreneurship. So I have my own business now, and I mentor new nurses and also have my spirituality mentorship business. So
awesome, right? You're in the lane, what we need. Cool. Sorry. I hate to interrupt you. Continue.
Oh, no, that's okay. Yeah, I always mean to do a little quick intro for the people who don't know me yet. So it's actually be like, oh, yeah, here's who I am. So, absolutely. Yeah, I think just like it extends to like nurses give so much of ourselves to our patients. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful concept. But from what I've like realized is that nurses, since we give so much to our patients and like our families if we have them, it's kind of hard for us to fill our own emotional cup.
Absolutely.
That's what was
Yeah.
really, really difficult for me starting out as a new nurse, and also like sustaining that. And it
Yeah.
kind of trickled down into other areas of my life. And so
Right.
I'm
Right.
super passionate about guiding healthcare professionals in general, or nurses, back into themselves, and just stress the importance of self-care, because it's just
Yeah.
absolutely like incredible.
Right. Yeah. I agree with you a million billion percent. But what do you think, like, so self-care is such like a buzzy word, and it means so many different things to so many different people. Um, I have a feeling you're someone that, like, when you're talking about self-care, you're not talking about like getting your nails done.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so talk to me a little bit about, I know you do a lot of work with like spirituality with nurses and getting in touch with that, because I think a lot of nurses want to get there, but they don't know how to connect those dots. Like, when I leave the bedside, and even if I have, I read in my Real Simple magazine, I'm supposed to have like a ritual on the way home from work, and I've done all that, but like, I'm still feeling so empty inside, or I still am like dreading going to work every day. Or how do you start those nurses off, trying to dig a little bit deeper?
Yeah, that's a great, great, great question. And what you mentioned really, like, oh, it's more, self-care is more than just getting your nails done. It's more than just, the little fluffy stuff. It's really
Yeah.
setting boundaries, I think, is very,
Yeah. Oh
very
my God, I love that.
setting boundaries with, and prioritizing your energy, prioritizing your peace,
Yeah.
setting boundaries. Because like for me, it was a little bit more simple, as I lived alone, so I was able to kind of, whenever I wouldn't work, I would set aside time to make sure I meditation's a very big part of
Yeah.
the practice that I preach, as well as taking time to journal, taking time to read, taking time to get to know yourself ultimately.
Right.
So I feel
Yeah.
like when we can get lost in our professions, because we can, and
Yeah.
it's such a purely positive, intentional thing to be able to provide for somebody else and care for somebody else.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when we don't take the time to know who we are, we can
Yeah.
get lost in the care that we provide to our patients. That's what
Yeah.
I mean. That's what I struggled with, and I
I
kind
would argue a lot of nurses also use that as a coping mechanism,
of.
like, oh, I have to work. I mean, what am I going to do?
Mhm.
And that it's, yeah,
Yeah,
perpetuates the cycle.
exactly. And it's like, as healers, as people who go out to give so much to each other, we need to be able to look inwardly and set those boundaries with ourselves. So, what I really like to urge people to do is, when you get home, have a night ritual, kind of what you were talking about.
Right.
Take time to meditate, take time to journal, take time to like take a shower, and be very practice
Yeah.
mindfulness, and with like just letting yourself feel the water, and like feel how
Right.
comfortable you are within your home environment. And also,
Hmm.
you know, not eating a heavy meal at night, especially with those 12-hour shifts, or if you're coming up in the
Right.
morning and you work the night shift, and and then you're going to
Yeah.
sleep. Definitely setting those boundaries on, hey, like this is my time. It's
Yeah.
so important when we're protecting your energy.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love how you said too, like, sometimes I think sometimes people think I have to have this big, big practice to combat these big, big feelings. But I think a lot of people are surprised at how little, time wise it takes. Like you said, just connecting to any little moment. I remember listening to some podcast, I wish it was probably like Oprah or something, where she was interviewing a Benedictine monk, and he was saying, like, a part of their mindfulness practice, he's like, yeah, mine's washing the dishes.
Yeah.
Like, I wash the dishes for everybody. I connect to the moment. You just have to pick a sense other than like the thoughts going through your brain. He's like, for me, it's the warm water going over my hand. And he's like, in that moment, I'm just tethered to the earth, and you're not thinking of the future. You're not in the past. You're just there. And it seems so simple, but it's the simpleness of it that helps you to stay grounded, which is so hard for nurses.
Absolutely. Like, I don't think there was a lot of, like, whenever I was in nursing, we didn't really talk about being present. Kind of what you described was just
Yeah,
being present in the moment, and really
right.
just feeling the energies in certain areas of your life, like whether you're just doing dishes or folding clothes, just
Yeah,
connecting with the moment, and realizing that every moment is very, very special. And like as nurses, this is something that really happened to me. We get very overwhelmed very easily because we're tracking so much stuff throughout the day,
Oh my God, yeah.
managing so many patients, especially like I know when I was travel nursing, I would have 7 to 8 patients sometimes on like
Oh Lord.
and that was, I'm sorry, that really, that was really hard. And then, you know,
Yeah.
especially when we're short staffed, we can carry that into our lives. And that goes back to just really setting boundaries. Like, this was work. I need to make sure I leave work at work, even though I care so much. And it's just so beautiful, that concept. But like being at home and just kind of shifting your mindset into, hey, this is my home environment, just kind of living in the present moment, deepening and connecting really with what you're doing here, whether it's making dinner for your family or talking with your children when you get home, or even, like what I said, was taking a shower, doing dishes, really just staying in the moment was
absolutely
game changer.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it is something that you need to really almost like schedule in, you know, in the beginning, because it's a new habit, you know. And I think, what is it, 21 days before a habit becomes something you don't have to like will yourself to do every day. But it's something that we need to do. And like you said, being able to set boundaries like externally with work, being like, no, I'm not going to come in for, I have a day off tomorrow, like I'm not working, sorry. But it's, I mean, I didn't work, you know, I was out of the bedside before the pandemic hit, you know, well before. So just the fact that I mean, I'm doing the math on, you came into the profession like right as all that was hitting.
Yes, I
can't even imagine
about that. And that was really difficult. I mean, we had nurses that were getting sick with COVID, and then it made us all short staffed. We all had to pick up. But then even though like we were super, super stressed, like I just want to encourage these nurses who, if you're in a hospital setting that's very, very, you know, might be stressful at times, prioritizing yourself and just making sure, like, because we're not able to provide the most care to our patients, the most efficient care to our patients, if we're not really being able to take care of them. But always, I love to always switch it back to making sure we have taking care of the patients in our best capacity. And I always say, if you're not doing it for yourself, do it for your patients.
Right. If that's the framework that you're the most comfortable in, like, hopefully down the line, you'll see that like you deserve to be at the top of that list as well.
Absolutely.
Because it's just not sustainable. I mean, at the beginning, like there was so much uncertainty, like pandemic speaking, like all the uncertainty and not knowing, you know, are we doing this for 2 more weeks, 2 more months? Like, you know, we're all used to short staffed at times, but you think like, okay, we're just gonna, you know, the census is high, in another few days it'll go back down, and then like it just never does, and you're just stuck in this. I know. I mean,
the uncertainty can be very, I don't know. It can be anxious. Like it can cause some of those anxious feelings.
Yeah.
Which is hard for a nursing, like being in the nursing profession in general. Because if you're having an anxious mind, then it's really hard to prioritize, and you feel overwhelmed and start being stressed. And then we can talk about like the physical manifestations of stress comes to your body, and it's like, it's so hard. For like, you know, trying to care for our people, our patients, and the people who like we're working for, but then we have so much going on internally that we really, really need to protect. And so, this is something I'm so passionate about, and just, you know, making sure that nurses, we need to prioritize ourselves and take care of our
I like that you use the word protect, because it is something that we need to feel more actionable about, you know. Well, awesome. Thank you for coming on. I don't want to cut you short, but I see there's other people kind of popping up wanting to jump on as well. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I wanted to just say that for anybody who's interested, this will all be on like the Nurse Deck community.
Yep, absolutely.
Definitely check out. I know that the link is in my bio, as well as check out Nurse Deck, because we can continue this conversation on the community and on that platform, because spirituality and nursing is something that I'd really like to dive into on deep in the Nurse Deck community. So that's my last thing. And if you want more information, everybody can always reach out to me as well.
Yay! All right. And you are at Drew Bailey, correct?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay. It probably pops right up here that you can just click on. Yep, I do see it on. At least on my screen it is. So hopefully everybody else is seeing what I'm seeing. All right, cool. Thank you, Drew. Thanks
You're
for coming
welcome.
on.
I'm
Appreciate
gonna
it.
hang around to the rest of the live, so I want to see
Yay.
people. So thank you so much for having me.
All right, great. All right, so I see Blee, basically. All right, so I'm going to try to find you here to jump on. Bear with me, everybody. And I guess if I'm picking you and you don't want to be picked, you can just decline me, whatever the word is here. All right, so at Blee, basically. That's who I'm after here. Hopefully I'm gonna get your lovely face popping up beside me. Hey!
Hi.
Welcome.
I'll hop on for a minute.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about whatever you're comfortable sharing.
Yeah, so I'm up in Maine, and I actually rent a room to travel nurses. That's kind of my
Nice.
main connection to nursing is I have travel nurses here all the time, and I'm
Oh,
friends with a
cool.
lot of the TikTok and Instagram nurses because of some of the work I
Nice.
do, helping them with dispelling some of the misinformation that we've seen here the last couple of years. So, and
Okay,
that's
cool.
my connection to you guys is
Awesome.
the nursing community. So,
I love it. I love it. So, what's burning a hole in your in your mind tonight that you want to talk about?
oh, not too much. I just wanted to hop on and support you guys. I think it's great what you guys are doing, bringing the community together and resources. I know as far as like the travel nurse community goes, there's a lot of like Facebook groups and different things, but I think
Yeah.
having the platform you guys have where people can connect and share resources and share information and stuff like
Right.
that is really, really great. So I'm a huge advocate for your guys' platform.
Yay! Well, in my mind, I'm also from the Northeast. I have tons of family in Maine. And I'm thinking of like the little yurts that like when you're hiking through the. I'm picturing you as like this little wonderful warm spot where people can come in and I don't know. I can turn anything into like a fairy tale. I have small children, so just take that with a grain of salt. But thank you for offering a nice space for nurses to come in. And I know traveling is super hard and it can get really lonely. So I'm glad there's people out there like you that are offering a nice soft space to land and for promoting our community. We appreciate that, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
As well.
I'll hang around and support you guys. You guys are great.
Yay! Well, thanks for joining us. All right, I see a couple of other people on here. I'm going to jump off with you and grab somebody else.
All right, perfect. I'll let you end it because I don't know how to.
Okay. The blind leading the blind. We will go on. Here we go here. Let's see. I think we're good. All right. So I think I saw, sorry guys, I am just scrolling backwards here. I think I saw Netra, which I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Wanted to jump on here. It would be so sweet if these people popped up in the order that they were saying that they wanted to talk. All right. Another lovely face should be joining us momentarily. I'm so excited to see so many people on here. Yay! I'm feeling so successful with this tonight. Yay.
Awesome. Hey. So
Hey.
I'm Nitra. I am a registered nurse.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a registered nurse out of Kansas City, Missouri. And so I've done some travel nursing, and then I do per diem, like agency work as well.
Okay.
And so a little history about me. I actually started my career as a licensed practical nurse, and then I bridged over to obtain my BSN in nursing. Excellent. And my heart is definitely with psych, so I'm a full-blown psych nurse. And I just really have a great appreciation for the nurse deck community and all the resources that it offers, and how we are in a place in our community with nurse deck where we don't have to feel isolated about so many issues, but yet we're so supported in things that no one really can grasp or understand unless you're you're in the community with us.
Nail on the head right there.
Yes. It's
Thank you.
awesome. And so, like right now, I work in between this agency and I've kind of branched out to do nurse entrepreneurship as well. And I kind of help nurses create those healthy boundaries, whether they're working as an
Awesome.
agency nurse or whether they're traveling or they're just a staff nurse. And I just feel like a lot of the times they teach us so much about work as a nurse, but they don't teach us how to
Yes.
balance it. They teach us
Oh my
about how
God,
to
yes.
make money as a nurse, but they don't teach us how to
Mm-hmm.
balance it. So there's no
Yes.
point in having all this money, quote unquote, but your health is suffering. So
Yeah.
Something that I really want to touch on is like I always teach nurses like the 3 C's, and with me that's having a level of courage, having a level of consistency, and then having a level of confidence, because those are things I wish they would have instilled in me to want me to learn more as a nurse, and just feel confident in knowing that I don't know everything. So having the ability to be in a field where you're constantly growing is a positive thing. It's definitely not something to be ashamed of.
Yes, that's such a good point because I think so many people equate confidence with skill set, and like
Yeah,
you're not going to know what you don't know till you're out there doing it, but you can still
absolutely.
go in like confident, like you said, about your boundaries and
Yes,
having almost the permission to have courage to have boundaries. I mean,
right.
I don't want to take the words out of your mouth, but I love what you're saying. You're right. It's not
Absolutely.
taught in school at all. We're taught, more skills, and that's
And that's why I have such a passion, for my business as well, because in there I found along the way, like I'll give you guys just a short story on my journey and some of the things that I went through. Like I remember being in nursing school, and at the time I had a 2-year-old daughter, and I couldn't miss clinicals. Like there was no way I could miss it.
yeah,
I was a month away from graduation, and literally, my kid's dad had to throw my daughter's birthday party by himself, and I just
wow,
will never forget sitting there like, oh my gosh, my daughter's gonna hate me forever because I
yeah,
missed her birthday party. Mind you,
right.
she was 2 at the time, so she
I
doesn't
know. Those are just
anything
for the
that
parents.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so one thing that I vowed to myself and that I teach other nurses is just to have those boundaries in place, to always practice self-care, to always make sure that you acknowledge your family, and to always make sure that you're
hmm,
finding time to remotivate yourself by dwelling and staying in a place where you don't forget your passions and the level
yeah,
of giving back, because so many times we pour out as a nurse, but we
yeah,
neglect our families, and those are the main sources and our passions that pour back
right,
into us, that keep us gun-ho and wanting to go in and try to
yeah,
save the world. So it's like
yeah,
we can't ignore these things.
right. I mean, nursing will swallow you up if you let it. It is a very good place to go and disappear if that's what you would
Yeah,
like.
yeah, that is so
Which is
true.
and you can also like pat yourself on the back while you're doing it, which is like a lot of
Right.
professions.
It's like
So
endless
it can be a
possibilities.
complicated soup you can dive into, but you gotta stay true, like you said, to the people at home that you like pushed yourself through school for
Yeah,
and got that degree. I mean,
I know. So
but
it's,
it's hard. It doesn't make it easy, but it's so important.
it
So,
is.
so, so
It very
important.
much is. And like something that's really important to me is I stopped one day. I was downstairs cooking dinner for my kiddos, and I heard my kids upstairs singing this ABC song. And so I'm like,
Hmm.
is that them? So I immediately stopped what I'm doing. And at that moment, my kids also watch me do my homework because I'm pursuing my psych NP. And so it's like your kids pay attention to you more than you realize. And I just got so
Oh,
excited, and I ran upstairs because them
yeah,
watching me learn and creating those
yeah,
healthy boundaries helps my kids want to learn more, because they're like, hey, if mom can do it,
yeah,
I know that I can do anything. So they don't even keep cat in their vocabulary, because they
right.
watch me juggle and do so much, but create those boundaries so that my stress doesn't roll off onto them.
Oh
So
my God, yes,
it's so it's so rewarding to have
yeah,
those boundaries, because I always want to be my children's first role model. And in order to
yeah,
do that, I have to have an appreciation for the nursing field through boundaries, and just be able
yeah.
to give back to those things that are me outside of nursing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So well spoken. I'm just like clapping along with you. Like, where were you when I was in nursing school when I
I'm
started out?
telling
Every
you.
word out of my mouth was yes. Yes, I'll
Yeah.
work overtime. Yes, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Like, oh, it's so
Yeah.
hard, like when you're a people pleaser and you're a baby nurse.
True. And I just want to
Yeah.
encourage all of you guys that are out there watching, feel free to join us. Like I have the link as well in my bio
Yeah.
through Nurse Deck. You will not regret it. It is such an awesome community and you will feel like you're at home because everyone is so, so, so supportive and there's really
Yeah.
nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Yep. Yep. I agree. Well, thank you so much for
You are
jumping
so
on.
welcome. And I'll
And
put my
I
name
know
in the
people
chat,
can,
guys, as well, if you want
yes,
to follow for more information as well.
absolutely. Perfect. All right. Well, I think we have Shannon next. So I'm going to go grab Shannon. Let's see
Okay.
here. Da, 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 da. Bye. All right. Let's get Shannon and look at this. Shannon Whittington. I hope you are the Shannon that we want. You are the Shannon that I am grabbing. All right. Let's see. Oh, it says she's unable to join. Maybe it's a different Shannon. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling back. Maybe there's something that needs to be like toggled on your end. Let's see. In the meantime, Nitra had such great advice about when you're starting out in school and putting up those boundaries. I think tonight is going to be brought to you by the letter B for boundaries. I think it's such an important topic, and I wish, I mean, for all intents, it could have been talked about when I was in nursing school 15 or so years ago, but that we were taught to like go in guns blazing and like put ourselves in the way of every procedure, every, you know, any skill, anything that we could take part in. There was no talk of like, hey, nursing can be really challenging and you might need to like, you know, take some time for yourself, and that's really important too. So I'm so glad to hear nurses talking about this right now. It's such an important topic. I think it's one of the like beautiful sides of social media. Our social site, we talk a ton about this, and I hope you guys join us there. Anybody else have any burning topics they'd like to talk about tonight? I'm going to give a couple more minutes here. Let's see. I think we may be coming to an end here. Last call. Anybody else have any topics they want to talk about? I encourage everybody to go. We have this nursing magazine out now. We've been interviewing all kinds of fascinating people. You guys, there's so many areas of nursing that I had no idea even existed. Like, I talked to a nurse. She's out of Penn. She is one of the, I should know this because I just talked to her pretty recently, Marion Cleary. Thank you, Brain, for remembering something. But she is all about nursing and innovation, and she was telling me about these this like hackathon that they had, and they got all these nurses together virtually, and it was like all these nurse-led conversations about what nurses need in the workforce, and then like nurses putting those solutions together in real time. It was like the coolest conversation ever, and I can't wait for her issue to come out. But there's just so much good going on. I know the big headlines that we see are always like, nurses are leaving the profession, we need to retain them. And that is certainly true, but there is a lot of good going on in the world, and part of that good is you guys all being there for one another, which is huge. And I know it sounds corny, but it's really a big deal. All right, anybody else? Would anybody else like to jump on before we end our little open mic night? We will definitely do more of these. I can see we have a lot of people watching, so I am glad this is being well received, and we can have more opportunities for you guys to speak your mind. I mean, at Nurse Tech, we're all about people coming on and sorry, getting distracted by notifications. I should have turned this off. All right, let's see. Muscles and nursing. Are you coming on? All right, great. I love your name, by the way. Let me see if I can find you. All right. Hopefully you will pop up here and tell us what you want to talk about. Yay!
How are
How's
you?
it going?
You
I'm
probably don't
good.
know me.
I don't know you.
Okay, I am
Let's
one
meet.
of the most searched nurses in the world on TikTok.
No way. Well, TikTok is not my strong suit, but that
No,
sounds very cool.
I am. You're probably going to see a flood of people come in.
Okay.
A flood.
Okay. I'm seeing some muscles is great. So you're getting vouched for left and right here. That's a good
I
sign.
am. Yeah, you went from 14. You're about to jump up to about 300.
Oh, sweet. I don't want to know that. I'm going to cover that up because that'll just make me nervous. All right, you're the pro, so tell me what you want to talk. First of all, tell me a little, since I don't know you, since I'm
That's okay. So I am the dictator of the House of Petty. My job.
Okay, I like you already.
I am. My background is I was a health and wellness nurse before I started. Before Operation Cluster Bleep happened. I cuss a lot. I cuss a lot. So remember, if you are representing somebody like a professional organization, I am sorry. But
okay.
if you've been a nurse for any time, you won't cuss a lot.
I know. I was gonna say. I think you're in good company. So.
But my platform is stopping misinformation on the internet, especially when it comes from nurses. So when nurses use their implied public trust to spread misinformation about vaccines, science efficacy, all of that, I stop them and I shut it down.
Yeah.
Like to the point, and I think because I wanted to talk just to another random person that I've never met, but who is a nurse. So I was a health and wellness nurse. I'm now an AWOC. So that's what I love. For those of you who don't know, an AWOC is an advanced wound care nurse, wound ostomy care nurse. So there's WOCs, which are wound ostomy care nurses, and then there's AWOCs, which is advanced wound. Honestly, it's only like a fucking 2,000.
Not to be confused with Ewoks, which were like my little childhood thing I snuggled from Star Wars.
Yes. I'm funny. I just started The Mandalorian. I've never watched The Mandalorian, so now I'm actually watching it.
Oh, funny.
So I wanted to ask you, why did it take the board so damn long to come out? You know, the NCISB came out with their notification that if you spread misinformation on the internet, your license is at risk. Did you see that update? I did see that, yeah. Why did it take so bloody long? Like, that's a really good point. I have been screaming it for a year and a half, and I'm like, why did it take so long? What do you get back? Like nothing? Like crickets or? Nothing. I have petitioned the NCISB. I've asked them. I said, why did it take so long? I have been advocating for years now. To like, hey, since the beginning of this pandemic, and I really started saw what was going on, and that's really what I started with my platform. I asked them. I've been sending emails, and finally they did something. And let me tell you why. Because I have such a large platform, and there's other nurses who have a large platform, we were getting death threats and complaints on our license on a daily basis because we were calling nurses out by their names. Oh, people are vicious nowadays. Like they will come for you. They will come for you and your dog, dad. Exactly. But the boards of nursing were not prepared for the speed of the I don't think they weren't prepared for it. I think they just couldn't be bothered. You know what I mean? I really do. If you've ever had interactions with the board, sometimes they just can't be bothered. I would say that's the overwhelming feeling. I think you have your finger on the right pulse there. You know, and then finally, after they got an influx of just, nurses being reported, they really finally started to take it to heart. And do you know who did the push to this? It wasn't the boards of nursing. It was the NCISB, the NCSBN. They're the ones who came out with the statement. Boards of nursings really haven't said much of anything. Interesting. Yeah, it seems like it's all like ass backwards. You know what I mean? It really is. The cart before the horse, before the road. Hold on just 1 second. I'm going to pause this real quick. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think anyone hears like the board of nursing and they're like, oh, they're just warm folks who really miss
Right.
it and feel hurt.
Right. And I think that honestly, like, it's a little too late to do the right thing now. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. The damage has been done. You
Yeah.
saw what happened in Tennessee, right? With the medical boards?
I did not. No, fill me in. What happened?
Okay, so a while back, the Tennessee medical boards for the licensing for doctors, the medical boards, they put out a notification that if you spread misinformation about COVID and the COVID vaccine,
Okay.
you have your license at risk. Okay,
Okay.
like your ability to practice medicine will be at risk. Well,
Right.
the Texas
Across any
lawmakers,
practitioner.
Mhm.
So like
Tennessee lawmakers made them retract that statement. Now, whether you're for the vaccine or against the vaccine, we need to look at this as medical providers and cares, that when you have politicians stepping in, stepping in for, it, you know, when they're suing hospitals to prescribe ivermectin, what are you thinking? You know what I mean? Like,
I live in Florida, so I am surrounded by, you know, no offense, Floridians that are also on here, but
honey, you
guys know what I'm talking about.
You're in Florida?
I'm in Florida.
You're in danger, girl.
I know.
You are in danger. You're in danger.
I was raised in New England, so coming down here, I was like, y'all don't believe in dinosaurs? Like, you know, there's like what?
Right.
I mean,
I worked in Connecticut for a long time. So when you say New England, I love my New England. I live on the East Coast on the beach because, you know, I can't be fucking bothered. But but I guess my question for you is, coming from another nurse that I never met, do you feel that how can we fix this? It seems almost like not an educational gap, but willingness for nurses to just buy into bullshit. Like, what's happened to our profession? In my opinion, I think the politicization, I think there's an extra syllable that's supposed to be in there, but I think because everything is so politicized now, everything, like stuff that has no business being spoken about on any lectern anywhere, is now everybody's business. And so before any science enters the conversation, it enters, you know, what representative or what district they represent enters the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like that takes the top seat. I totally get it. It's like before you can have a conversation about COVID or a vaccine or medical science or anything like that, the first question they ask you is who did you vote for? Yeah. And unfortunately, that sometimes tells you like a lot of things. You know, like it does. I mean, when you look at death rate maps compared to, I was looking at those the other day. When you look at the death rate of COVID, and I'm sorry, I keep interrupting you. Go ahead. No, you're good. I think we might have a little delay. Keep going. We do. If you look at the death rates of COVID and compare them to voting maps, they're very similar. And that's very telling. That. Yeah. And it's sad. It's really, really sad because winter is coming. Winter is here. And that's just, so I just wanted to ask from another nurse that I've never met. I mean, like, do you think the boards of nursing were too late and there is culpability here? Oh, they were 100 million. So many things. Everything's been too late. That's like, right. Okay. So hashtag too late is our approach to the whole pandemic. Like, exactly. And I think that there's culpability here that needs to be set. Like, I think as a group of the majority of nurses who believe in the science, because they're now, what is it? The American Nurses Association just came out and said that 92% of all nurses are vaccinated. I think we need to, as a whole, like come together to every nursing board and be like, you need to fix this now. You need to find nurses and tell people. Tell people about or set examples for nurses. Like literally start start pulling nurses before the boards and investigating them. Okay.
Right.
And what is Nurse Deck, by the way? Can I just ask? I'm sorry, I didn't even ask. My
Yeah,
friend pulled me in. She kept texting me. She's like, you gotta watch this Instagram live.
So NurseDeck is a site that's built by nurses. We're a social site. We just provide, guidelines and resources. We have a website, and then we also have this cool thing that's kind of like our own offshoot of Facebook or Meta or whatever the heck they're going by now, or TikTok if you like TikTok. But it's like a platform for nurses, and we have to verify, like you have to provide your license to be a part of it. So there's no trolls in there stirring the pot, and but it's a place for nurses to support one another.
I would love to sign up. I will sign up tonight.
Please do. Oh my God, we would love to have you in there. And that is also a great place if you're looking to like galvanize a group of people that want to be proactive and helpful, but also might be like tucked in their PJs in their bed scrolling social media and like don't really want to get out of bed to do it, but they'll happily send off like 20 emails. Like
I will
found your people.
Oh, because I'm a night shift nurse, hence why I'm up about ready to prep my dinner, go to the gym, and come home. Listen, I am an HR nightmare. Like you want.
I think that's a good line for like somebody's bio.
I remember the first time I ever got pulled into HR when I was a new nurse, and this guy was just an absolute asshole to me. And I looked at him and I said, "Have your needs been met?" And he goes, "Huh?" And I was like, "Your needs have been met, but I said, my job is not to fill your wants. My job is to fill your needs to keep you alive. Bye." And I said, "What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything wrong. I satisfy his needs. There was no delay in care. Just because he wants the back rub does not mean we are required to give you a back rub." Like,
and your preceptor is like, "It's going to be a long 3 months."
Speaking of that, I was reading over, I think it is the creepiest fucking thing that they literally consider a back rub as part of nursing, as a nursing intervention. I think that's just no, not nowadays. Not nowadays. Why?
I would say it looks good in a textbook. Like we know what you meant to say when you said like therapeutic touch, but unfortunately, like fast forward to 2021, and like you said, it doesn't translate well anymore.
People are nasty.
Unfortunately. We're too busy.
Yeah, exactly.
That is going to come way down on the list.
Exactly. And I have, don't get me wrong, I have a bedside manner, but it's the manner of my job is to keep you alive. My job is not to sit here and, pick the bunions off your toes. Not going to happen.
I thought you were a wound care nurse.
I know that's.
Aren't you a picker?
No.
Isn't that how you knew where your calling was?
When people say natural immunity, that was on nurses finals. Exactly. That's literally an in-class. That's nursing finals. It almost feels like grooming in a way.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I feel that nurses, especially in nursing school, are groomed to take the abuse when we get into the field.
That's what I was just saying before. I'm like, there was no like boundaries and you can say no and stand up for yourself. It was all about like, sit down, shut up, and
I was listening to that.
Go turn my patient.
Absolutely learn how to say no. And you don't have to give a reason. If you say you're calling out sick, one thing I've learned when you're calling out, you don't have to call out sick. You can say, "I'm sorry, I'm not able to come in today." Well, what's your reason? "I'm just not able to come in today."
No.
My apologies. Or when they want you to come in early or something like that. No, I'm not going to. And normalize. One of the things that I tell my new nurses when I'm precepting them, I say, normalize not answering your phone if you're DON or if your our CNO calls you on your day off. You are an hourly employee. You are not a salaried employee.
Yeah.
Normalize not answering your phone. When you come into work next, okay? When you come into work, unless they like leave a message, like let them leave a message and they say, "We need you to come in so and so forth at this time." And say, "I will be there. I will be there on time and clocked in." Always pay always pay yourself. Even if you're going in for a termination meeting, clock in.
Yeah.
Clock in.
Yeah.
Okay? Clock in.
Right. Especially, I think, new nurses, because I think so many times you're home, like I know for me, and you get called by someone who's your quote-unquote superior, and then you're like, oh my God, like you spin up this story in your mind, like I just let everybody down. Like meanwhile, they are already 8 people down a list. Like they don't care that they just got your voicemail. This is a task that they have to complete. They are not thinking about you. Trust me.
They are not.
I know from experience of going down that list almost every shift. Yeah. But it's so easy when you're new to feel like, you know, you have this like mark on you now as someone that's not a team player. Yeah, it's so true.
Because you're freshly groomed.
Yeah.
But then as we grow out, that's why they say the old battle axe of the nurses. No, it's not that. It's that we learn the fucking game. Like we learn and we what is it? We deconstructed our grooming from nursing school. And now we realize we're coming in just like any other person into a job. Okay, we're coming into a job, a professional job. Like there are things that we do not have to put up with. This threatening, oh, that's neglect, or that's patient abandonment if you don't come into work or you don't clock in or you refuse assignment. No, it's not.
Right.
It is not. If I don't clock in, that's not my job. If I don't clock in, if I look at the staffing ratios and I decide not to be there, if I don't clock in, that's not patient abandonment, and the boards can't do shit to you, but they like to make you think they can.
So hard for new nurses. They need more of you being like, listen. Yeah, it's true. It's so true.
Right. I feel like they have taught me so many things in nursing school so far that isn't done in clinical. That's
good.
True.
I'm glad you're reading comments. I keep forgetting about these.
Yeah, I know. I think I just found a good friend of
mine. You're way better at this.
I'm totally gonna have to follow you now. What is it? I think I'm gonna get off of this because I've got to start I'm making burritos. But thank you. And thank you for making me come in here. If I can impart anything to a new nurse, if there's any new nurses or nursing school in here, I will chime in on natural immunity. Here it is. It doesn't work. There. That's it.
There's another.
That's it. Natural immunity does not work when it comes to COVID. I have seen 16 people in 3 weeks being reinfected with Delta. Just like that.
Yeah.
That's
Delta or Omicron?
Delta. Wow. Delta. When it comes to Omicron, our vaccines are working if you're boosted. Okay. It's just, I'm not being mean or anything like that. I'm saying Delta is reinfecting people. Okay. Wow. And let's talk about, because I had COVID twice. I had COVID the beginning of January 2020.
Yeah.
I am healthy. I work out. I eat well. I take vitamins. I take supplements. I always make sure I get at least 6 hours of sleep.
I mean, the beginning of your name is like muscles and what it's cut off. But.
Right. It's not a joke. Like I work out.
Yeah.
Like I work out. I am a picture of health.
Yeah.
And I got COVID twice. Natural immunity wanes. Our we are seeing breakthrough to a point, but I would point you to Israel. Israel released a study yesterday. Okay. Out of 107,000 people that they tested for COVID, 700 people came back positive.
Wow.
The entire country of Israel, 107,000 people tested, 700 people were tested positive for COVID. Out of all the entire country, there's 102 people with serious cases of COVID. 52 of them are on ventilators. 48 of them are unvaccinated.
Wow.
So that is math right there. The reason why we have so much pushback is because, and this is not being rude or anything like that, it is because people can't do basic math. They fall into this base rate fallacy that the vaccines aren't working because the vaccinated are getting it. Well, how many times was that vaccinated person exposed before they got it? How many people were exposed that didn't get it?
Well, I think people just don't, nuance makes people uncomfortable. So they like either yes or no. Yes, I'm vaccinated and I'll never get it. And if you can't guarantee me that, then why would I ever, get a microchip implanted in my shoulder? It's like you go down that route sometimes. But I noticed that is certain people that like the color red in particular, tend to be very black and white thinkers. And so if they can't get their 100% answer, you can't guarantee me, then I'm not going to do it. It's like, right. No, you need to like, in the numbers is the nuance of it. And this is a virus we literally don't know. I mean, we know a lot more than we used to, but we really don't know much about it. So give me all the vaccines.
Well, I have 7 shots in me.
Wow, really? 7?
I was in booster trials. I may have gotten an extra booster here or there or whatever, just to prove a point. And literally within what's today, the 9th?
Yeah.
Within 4 days, I will have been vaccinated for a year, and I'm not dead. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, I will have been vaccinated for a year and I'm not dead.
You would say that.
Yeah, I got 7.
How do we know?
So you want to know the real story? You want to know the real story behind why I got 7?
Yeah.
In France, when they were rolling out the vaccines, this poor overworked nurse, God bless her fucking heart. So you had to reconstitute the Pfizer vaccine. Okay. So but it still was in a liquid form. Okay, but you had to reconstitute it. So she pulled a vial thinking that there was only 1 dose in it.
Oh Lord.
There was 6 doses in it because it wasn't reconstituted. And this poor woman got it. And I made a post on TikTok and I said, can we just take a moment and really feel for this woman who's not going to be able to walk down the street without every car come flying at her face. Like she is not going to be able to sneeze, and she will realign the Earth's magnetic sphere. She will be able to pull airplanes out of the sky. Because this was when everybody was like, if you get vaccinated, you're magnetized.
Oh, yeah. You know? Yeah. She has Bill Gates in her ear.
I was not going to be bested by some quack from France. So I got
That's the take-home message you got from it. You saw it as a challenge.
Yeah, so she got that guy got 6. You know what? That person went home, had a slight sore arm, no issues whatsoever. So it is what it is. I see the healthcare field. We'll end on this. I really feel that the healthcare field really messed up. One, due to greed when they changed collaborative care model, which was you had LPNs and an RN, on the floor working as collaborative care. They got rid of nurses of 25, 30 years that have been working in a hospital. They got rid of them.
Yeah, I saw that. You're right.
And that collaborative care, that kind of structure is now actually starting to be brought back because they realize, oh my God, we literally just got rid of all of our employees.
Yeah.
And they're, and they can't find any nurses. And the problem is that they're trying to bring, they're trying to bring LPNs back onto the floor. And my LPN friends, they're like, I'm making $40 at a sniff. Okay.
Right.
They want to pay me $21. Are you kidding me?
To take on 20 patients for like 4 nurses. No.
Exactly. Yeah. Like there's no way in hell that these nurses are coming back for that amount of pay. They just aren't.
Yeah.
So
no, anyways,
you're 100% it was really nice to meet you.
Well, so nice to meet you. What's your actual name?
I'm Jared.
Jared. Okay, nice to meet you,
yes.
Brianna.
Yes.
Well, come join us on NurseSec so we can keep talking to you.
I will. I'm definitely going to sign up for it. And Blee, thank you for dragging me over here. She was like, "Get over here, get over here." I was like, "Yes, ma'am." Shit.
Yay! All right.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. All righty. So, and he even knows how to, of course. Well, this has been amazing. I unfortunately have to go. This was, the first one of these that we've done. We are definitely going to do more of these. Thank you all for coming on and sharing your wisdom and doing what nurses do best. I think the more that we can turn towards one another and support one another, the better we are all going to be for it. So I will hopefully see all of you guys over on social. The link is in our bio. It's a funny sentence to say out loud because you always type it. But yeah, thank you for having me on here to host NurseSec, and I look forward to the next one. Bye, guys. Oh dear, what if I can't stop it? Okay.